I'm going to talk about a story which has rankled a lot of Indians. If you are a free speech absolutist, there are seriously intellectually honest arguments to criticize the Supreme Court's refusal of bail to Umar, Khalid and Sharjeel Imam in the 2020 Delhi riots case. Many legal scholars have argued that 5 years of pre-trial detention without the conclusion of trial raises grave constitutional questions. By any yardstick, that concern deserves debate. But here is what the Supreme Court actually said. It said delay in trial by itself cannot be treated as a trump card for bail. The court also adopted a broader interpretation of what constitutes terror-related activity, raising the bar for relief, and said because these individuals were conspirators and organizers, these two individuals, we cannot give them bail. In fact, 5 others were given bail who were co-conspirators because the judges felt that treating all accused equally would promote pre-trial detentions. So Umar, Khalid and Sharjeel Imam stand on a different footing from the others. Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid's role was central to the conspiracy, the court opined yesterday. Offences regarding the security of the nation require a different bail regime, and the Supreme Court is satisfied that the prosecution discloses prima facie roles and prima facie roles of Umar and Sharjeel to the extent of planning and organization. Now, a sharp, well-trained mind could have challenged this. One could argue that the court has blurred the line between freedom of expression and terrorism. One could argue that this reading risks chilling dissent. And if anyone is placed to make that argument, it is university students, especially students of JNU, India's premier liberal arts institution. But what did we get instead in JNU yesterday, viewers? Not constitutional critique, not an intelligent dissection of the judgment, not a jurisprudential debate, but crude sloganeering language that normalizes violence against the personage of the Prime Minister and the Union Home Minister and private citizens of this country. Listen to this. I'm just going to turn up the nat, as they call it in my profession, viewers, on this. Let's boost the nat, the natural sound, on this tape. What are these students saying? They are upset at the Supreme Court and they're saying that Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah's grave will be dug in JNU. Now let's be clear, it is intellectually absurd to believe that the Supreme Court takes dictation from the Prime Minister, the Home Minister and so-called business czars. That argument collapses under the slightest scrutiny. The real irony is this: the same students who claim to defend constitutional values are today legitimizing violence against the executive through grave-driven slogans. You are free to hate whoever you want, but don't confuse hatred with polished intellectual thought, and don't confuse noise with dissent. When taxpayers subsidize an education to the tune of tens of lakhs at a public university, the expectation is not ideological conformity. No one is in favor of that, but at least some intellectual seriousness. Let me tell you, an average Indian taxpayer is spending 50 lakhs over a period of the entire course so that students in JNU get subsidized education. Almost 50 lakhs, viewers, corrected to current prices. The old estimate last was put out in 2019 and we've adjusted it for inflation. And the figure comes to 48.3 lakh for a 5 years bachelor and PG course. That's what it costs you and me. And we were hoping that our money goes to promote intelligence. A university should produce discerning minds, graduates capable of argument, nuance and restraint, beacons for a more thoughtful India. What we saw was not resistance. It was intellectual bankruptcy, viewers. Common trolls speak this language. Common trolls. And this is a massive, massive, massive concern. The JNU administration has condemned these remarks. A statement issued by the varsity mentions that the raising of such slogans is wholly inconsistent with democratic dissent. I would have been more happy had they said that it is wholly inconsistent with the intellectual traditions of JNU. Is this going to be the future of our country? These people who are not even articulate enough to make an intelligent argument. Viewers, let's open this up because these questions need to be asked. I want to begin with Mr. Lakra here. Akshay Lakra, who's the president of the Delhi Youth Congress. Does this pass for debate, sir, in JNU? Is this the standard of JNU? Is this the intellectualism of students who stand and issue death threats when they have to condemn or criticize the Supreme Court? They can't come up with one intelligent argument. Is this what 50 lakhs a year is going to produce, or a whole term is going to produce, or 5 years of education? Mr. Lakra, do you support this nonsense?
Good evening, panelists. I don't support such kind of thing when education institutes are used for politics. And as far as the complaint is concerned, the chief security officer has already written to the SHO of Vasant Vihar, and the police might take its course. It has been 24 hours since then. But my point is that if hurdling abuses and as far as saying ill things about someone is concerned, I guess sharing a panel with someone from BJP, wo galibaj auntie hai, or the thing she says about Rahul Gandhi, who's the LOP, I think it's absolutely non-justified. And
no, hang on.
I think there is no point
one second, Mr. Lakra. One second, Mr. Lakra. 1 second. She'll respond to you. 1 second. She'll respond to you. But Mr. Lakra, I have to ask you a question. Fine. You believe that the BJP uses invective and abuse and all of that. Where is he gone? Why?
What kind of a man?
Why is he left? Who is this person? How can he just come off and disappear? And make a statement like this and disappear? Because these are the very dim-witted, ruffian trolls who are inhabiting the Congress and the left parties. This is what is the representative of that ideology. Justifying abuse by suggesting others do it, so we should also do it. Are these people educated? Mr. Balan, what is going on? These are people from your political establishment. These are SFI students. These are left party students there. Their drum has written on it SFI, Students Federation of India. These are left cadre. Is this what you're producing? No wonder you're left to 1% of the vote. I can't hear you, sir.
Shall I?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, see, your narrative attacking JNU is unacceptable. JNU produces scholars from Dalits and OBC communities. And you want JNU to be shut? See, these
Am I saying so?
No, these
what are you saying? I'm not asking for JNU to be shut. I'm asking for students in JNU, no, hang on, to use the money that taxpayers are investing in them sensibly and, hang on, and responsibly.
Yes. See, what
Can we not even expect that anymore?
Sir.
Or should we create a whole generation of... a whole generation of misanthropic, psychopathic students who cannot have... who don't have an intelligent view on the world. Is that what you want?
See, please listen to me. See, I do not know whether this sound is doctored or otherwise.
Song is doctored, they've accepted it, sir. They've come out and said, no, hang on. One second, sir. The student union has come out and said that this was... One second, Mr. Balan, don't try to tonight, Mr. Balan, suggest that someone has tampered with the tape, because the student union, the JNUSU student union has come out and it has accepted that these slogans were raised and have tried to justify them.
Who is she?
Who is she? What do you mean, who is she?
what party she belongs, whether she belongs to ABVP. Who knows?
What do you mean, sir? It's a statement that has been issued by the left
she
parties.
said metaphor. She said metaphor. What is meant by metaphor?
Oh, it's
Sir,
a metaphor,
voice of
is
dissent. Can you publish?
Okay.
Can you punish your dream?
One second. Let me bring in General Bakshi. He's a long-serving military man with discipline. One second, I'll just bring you in, Ms. Verma. Let me just bring in a man who has actually encountered these hooligans. When he was invited to give a... One second. When he was... Because this is what it is, sir. It is hooliganism. This is not cultured debate. You don't issue death threats.
Can prosecute you for
One second. General Bakshi, how do you characterize these individuals? I mean, when I look at this, sometimes I think that we should have forced military service in this country.
Why?
So that people can develop a bit of a moral backbone. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying that the thought crosses my mind. Yes, General Bakshi.
Rahul, this is far beyond a moral backbone. This is open slogans threatening to kill the Prime Minister and the Home Minister of this country. You know, this is an institution that was rescued, you know, brought back from the brink of utter collapse by the likes of Professor Jagdish Kumar, who got very tough with these hooligans. I have seen that phase when there used to be slogans, Indian Army, de ragada, de ragada. You see, when there were slogans that we don't want the national flag to flutter over the JNU. What the hell do you think the JNU is? A Pakistani enclave? A UN mandated territory? We had to, ex-servicemen, we had to go there to that university with a 3,500-foot national flag. And we were so happy when the JNU Vice-Chancellor then, Professor Jagdish Kumar and his entire staff of professors came to the gate to receive us and the national flag and helped us carry it through. Of course, then these cowards had fled. They had fled because they saw the ex-servicemen who do not take insults to the flag lying down. Now, we find a tendency on the name of that these are reserved, students from particular oppressed, depressed classes or what have you, who have the full right to break up this country, to destroy this country, to kill the Prime Minister, to kill the Home Minister. What the hell are you up to, mister? What the hell? And we have to subsidize their education?
Yes.
No, what education is this?
50 lakhs.
There are guys who hang around there for 10 years, 15 years, subsidized canteen trying to do their PhD studies. I finished my PhD studies in 3 years, right? Post-retirement. And they hang around there to do this, get a free pass.
Mr. Balan, quick response before I bring in Ms. Sanju Verma.
I think we've had enough.
See, it is, what type of language a serviceman uses hooligans? Nonsense. What type of language is it? It is per se defamatory.
It's parliamentary language, by the way.
Prosecute him for those defamation.
And it is much better language than Kamar Khodegi. Then Kamar Khodegi is far better language.
Listen to me.
You have no sense of proportion, mister.
See, when three-color flag was hoisted in RSS office at Nagpur, they were sent to jail.
Can you imagine,
Where
viewers?
did the officer
This
went
is the
there?
mentality of a
And when the tree
mainstream
flag was
political
raised,
party
They were
spokesperson.
sent to jail.
This is the
And you are
mentality.
teaching lessons to the patriots.
Can you believe
Yes,
it,
sir,
viewers?
yeah, yes,
Look at
sir.
this man's
I
thought
saw
process.
our
He is today
patriotic
rationalizing.
student union.
He's
They protect
rationalizing.
our
No, one
nation,
second,
they
Mr.
protect
Balan.
the
Listen, we've
poor.
heard your lecture all
They
morning.
protect
One
Ambedkar.
second, we've heard your lecture. You are rationalizing and normalizing death threats to
Where is it?
constitutional
Where is
post
it?
holders.
Why
This
you
is the
make a
mentality
block
of the left.
wall
Yes,
with
Ms.
your
Verma,
huge
a response
mountain?
to him.
And Rahul, it's my sincere request, I have not interjected anyone. I don't want Mr. Balan to interject. First and foremost, I take strong objection to the pathetic language used by the Delhi Youth Congress so-called leader Akshay Lakra on your show. He called me names, and then this coward did not even have the audacity to sit and listen. यदि अक्षय लाकरा गाली देने की हिम्मत है ना, तो जवाब सुनने की हिम्मत भी रखो. And I have never abused Rahul Gandhi. It is Rahul Gandhi who said ahead of 2024 elections, ये जो नरेंद्र मोदी है ना, ये जब 2024 का चुनाव हार जाएगा ना, ये जो देश की युवा है ना, ये सड़कों पर आकर नरेंद्र मोदी की पिटाई करेगा. That is abuse. मोदी शाह तुम्हारी कब्र खुदेगी. That is abuse. When somebody called Mohammad Firoz at a public rally in Darbhanga abuses the Prime Minister and his mother in the choicest language, and the entire Congress cabal consumes Fevicol in wholesale, that is shameful. And when, you know, Sandeep Dixit, the son of former CM Sheila Dixit, calls Bipin Rawat, the late CDS, Sadak ka Gunda, that is called abuse. And when Supriya Srinath called Sambit Patra a Gandhi Nali ka Kida, that is abuse. If I have called Rahul Gandhi anti-national, I have every right to do so, because I don't think a nationalist would go on foreign soil and say that China has usurped 2,000 square kilometers of Indian territory. And this is not Sanju Verma saying it. The Supreme Court called out the bluff of Rahul Gandhi. So Akshay Lakra uncle ji, क्या आप अभी Supreme Court को भी गालियां दोगे? And Rahul, I want to tell you, why is it that you had to call somebody like Akshay Lakra, who in 2019 vandalized the Veer Savarkar statue? He is a troll, a vandal and a thug. गुंडागर्दी करते हो अक्षय लाकरा, आगे से नेशनल टीवी पर गुंडागर्दी करोगे तो मुंह तोड़ जवाब मिलेगा. डरपोक की तरह भागना मत. But I want to focus quickly on one thing. This is not about the troll that you called on your show. I want to just say the most important thing is this. अफजल हम शर्मिंदा है, तेरे कातिल जिंदा है. भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे इंशाअल्लाह इंशाअल्लाह. जितने हिडमा मारोगे उतने हिडमा लाएंगे. You know, गुस्ताखे रसूल की एक ही सजा, सरतन से जुदा, सरतन से जुदा. It is because people like Imran Masood, it is because people like Rashid Alvi, it is because people like Udit Raj have trivialized these violent statements saying, ये तो छोटी मोटी बात है, ये तो routinely होता है, ऐसा तो चलता है. It is because we've developed a thick skin. In some cases, you don't need to have a thick skin. You need to react. It is because Congress has rationalized violence that today you're seeing people in JNU and trolls, you know, calling for violence and the assassination of the Home Minister and the Prime Minister, no less.
My only today prayer is, viewers, this, that these individuals who have said all of this, their education should no longer be subsidized. Let them focus on sitting in class and passing the exam. I'm not arguing for a conformity here, viewers. You can have views, but you cannot call for violence against individuals, especially those that hold constitutional posts, because that is anarchy. That is a form of intellectual terror, intimidation. And it can lead to horrible circumstances. We saw yesterday in America, J.D. Vance, his house was attacked.
Yes.
There are people being assassinated and shot and killed. When politics, the vocabulary of politics turns sociopathic. We see this in America. Do we want to import that culture here in the name of ideology? Because we have to be very, very careful of what we are subsidizing.
Then struck down all the fundamental right.
Fundamental right, sir, is not, doesn't extend to abusing people and
19
issuing death
Article
threats
19
against them.
crap.
Please.
Fundamental rights does not.
Mr. Balan, I really don't want to have a
is
conversation
not
with you. I
equivalent
think
to
there's something
trying to
wrong here.
promote terrorism.
Look, I don't think you believe in parliamentary practices or constitutionalism. I leave it at this.